Inishowen Peninsula, Ireland's largest, is flanked by Lough Foyle on the east, Lough Swilly on the west, and the Atlantic on the north side. Shaped by the Ice Age and carved by the endless crash of the ocean, the landscape here is one of stony green hills and jagged coastal rocks. The views will take your breath away. The peninsula reaches far enough into the Atlantic to grab the title of the most northernmost point of Ireland at Malin Head. This has long been renowned for its epic coastal scenery. Now, it's not just this spectacular, rugged landscape that you're going to fall in love with. You see, the skies here are beautiful too. During the day, they can be a granite colour or beautiful white clouds popped in amongst a blue sky. But at night, it can be extra special. You see, from here, you can get glimpses of the Northern Lights. There's so much to see and take in. Looking east, you'll see the Inishtrahul Island and its majestic lighthouse. Further east, on a clear day, you may be able to spot the Scottish hills about 60 miles across the passage. On the northernmost tip of Malin Head is Bamburgh's Crown, named after the mythical goddess of Ireland. An 1805 clifftop tower stands, making a striking photo opportunity. It was built by the British Admiralty as part of a string of buildings right around the Irish coast to guard against a possible French invasion. Malin Head was one of 83 coastal locations that were used to provide a snapshot, a real picture of where the war was at. And the watchers here would have had their hands really full. As they were looking out, German U-boats were moving up and down the coast, attacking transport ships and even troop carriers. It's really hard to imagine now that it was so disrupted back in those days, because this place is just spectacular and so peaceful. To the west, from the Fortside car park, a path leads 700 metres to Hell's Hole, a remarkable subterranean cavern composed of many metamorphic and igneous rocks formed over 400 million years ago. It's a sight to see, but don't step too close to the edge. It's here at Hell's Hole, this jagged, dangerous ravine that's been carved out through millions of years, the ocean smashing against the rocks, that the cast and crew of Star Wars came to film The Last Jedi. And when you look at this landscape, it's easy to understand why they chose this location. The Area 80 sign is an important historic sign that has recently been restored. These navigational markers were so important to pilots back in the day. You see, they could be flying across the coastline looking to see where they were. They could look down, they could see Ere, which said to them they were in neutral island, or flying over it at least. All the way up and down the coast where these signs appeared, they would have a different number. This would help the pilot pinpoint exactly where they were. And when you compare it to modern day pilots who can rely on GPS, they had quite the task back in the day. Further south along the wild Atlantic Way, sitting on a summit above the glassy waters of Lough Swilly, is the mysterious Ongrenon on Eliac. In Irish mythology, the people of the goddess Danu were a race of deities and heroes skilled in art, science, poetry and magic. One of the places that they are associated with is this stunning stone fort that still stands high on the hilltop. Now, the views from the top of the 4,000-year-old ringed walled fort are just amazing. In fact, these dry stone walls are over 5 metres in height. It's hard to imagine the history that's occurred here. Now, this is just one of those experiences you'll have as you're travelling on the wild Atlantic Way. It's an incredible drive, something you will never forget and something I can't recommend enough.